Hey everyone, Christina here for Card Player TV, back for another edition of the Poker Buzz. The hot topic this week is the start of the PokerStars.com World Championship of Online Poker. This year's series features 45 events in total, covering a wide range of poker games including Hold'em, Omaha, Stud, Razz, Horse, and Deuce to 7 Draw. This year there will be 3 high roller events, including a $10,000 buy-in No Limit Hold'em event on September 6th, a $25,000 buy-in Heads Up event on September 13th, and a $10,000 buy-in Horse event on September 20th, which is also the same day as the $500 buy-in main event. $10 million is being guaranteed for the championship event, and PokerStars has already begun running satellites that start as low as $1. Last year, the main event winner was Carter King, also known as ckingusc. He outlasted 2,184 competitors for the top prize of almost $1.3 million. King joined us in the Card Player Studios to talk about life after his win, as well as what he's been looking forward to for the 2009 WCOOP. Alright Carter, now you're most well known for winning the World Championship of Online Poker in 2008, but I want to know a little bit more about you. So, leading up to that event, how experienced were you in poker, and what's your kind of background?
I've been playing about 2.5 years by that point. Pretty much professional level for most of the time. I started playing poker a couple years before in high school, and just really kind of liked it and caught on, like, you know, around 2003 after the Moneymaker and all that stuff. And I don't know, just been pretty much playing ever since, and playing mostly tournaments.
Now, after that win, after the deal, you made almost $1.3 million. How did life change after that?
You know, not a whole lot. I obviously was able to afford things and not really worry about money quite as much, but I pretty much live the same as I did then. You know, just like a broke college kid with money.
Did you start traveling more after that?
A little bit. I'm not a huge fan of like traveling. I hate flying. I really hate flying. People make fun of me for it, but so yeah, I went and played a few live stuff, but for the most part, I tend to just, you know, stay around where I live.
Now, for that win, I mean, the World Championship of Online Poker is obviously, like, it's almost like the main event for live tournaments, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the biggest buy-in, and it's the biggest field and stuff for that. So, and you know, it's one of the biggest prize pools of like the entire year. So, I mean, I think it's definitely worthy of, you know, that kind of being put in that light.
Have you gotten to check out the 2009 WCOOP schedule?
I've looked at it like a little bit. I haven't like looked at it in depth and decided like what I want to play. I pretty much know I'm going to play like all the No Limit Hold'em events, and the other stuff probably not as much because I'm, you know, a one-trick pony. So
you haven't dove into the mixed games or anything yet?
No, I can play PLO all right, but with the exception of that, I really am not, I know I'm not up to par in those games, so I tend to just stick to where I specialize.
Aside from the main event, what event are you looking forward to the most?
You know, I like they have like a 500 rebuy event. I like those a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then just like the large field 2K, like no limit type tournaments. All those like big freeze outs with really good structures are gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, the WCOOP is the first time online players will get to play like huge rebuys, you know, since they took the rebuys out of the World Series of Poker. So. Right. Get into that. Now, are you looking forward to be the returning champion in the main event?
Yeah, and you know, hopefully I'll get to back-to-back it or something. That'd be really sweet.
Yeah. Do you think people will have a bullseye, or looking out to take you out?
You know, I don't think so much looking to take me out. It varies from person to person. Mm-hmm. Like some people will be like, oh, he must be really good. You know, I'll stay away from him. Some people want to like, play pots against me, and then some people don't care. So. I'll just, you know, once I see how the table plays and how the table reacts, I'll kind of decide. But it is an interesting dynamic, that's for sure.
For people who are playing their first WCOOP, what kind of advice would you give them?
Be patient. The structure is amazing. Like, I mean, half-hour levels online are just ridiculously long. Mm-hmm. So
you get so many hands.
Yeah, and so you can really take your time, and the structure is just it's as good as like anything you're gonna find anywhere else. So just, you know, kind of let the tournament come to you and not try to force things too much.
I saw an interesting hand that you talked about on the online zone last year. When you, in the early levels, you were playing pocket fives. Mm-hmm. And Do you think that, you're talking about playing deep, but you might not play pocket fives later in the tournament. Can you kind of elaborate why?
Just how with basically stack sizes and the implied odds you get for flopping a set. Early on, when you're hundreds of big blinds deep, you're easily getting the odds you need, implied odds you need to flop a set and win a big pot. But later on, when you're 20 big blinds deep and you're under the gun, it's not as good a decision to open there, just because the range of hands that are going to be playing against you from in position are going to be ahead of that opening range, because they should be giving you credit for opening there. So when they do play back at you, they're going to have bigger pocket pairs and big aces and stuff. So you're going to be put in a bad spot, and if you do get called, you're not going to have many chips to make plays post flop. So if you bet the flop and it all comes all over, so you get called, you're kind of SOL. So.
Well, you mentioned that patience is important in the beginning. Do you think the main event is a tournament that would cater more towards live players who are going to come play online for the big buy-ins, since they're used to playing more patiently than the non-online players who are used to playing the shorter buy-in tournaments?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so. I mean, certain players who rely more on their live reads and stuff are gonna still kind of struggle, but solid live players who are good at playing tournaments I think they do very well, because there's still I think deeper on it's going to play tougher than most live tournaments do. But if you get someone who's a good tournament player who plays live, I can't really think of David Famby. He crushes online already. So, but players like that who are good live players are going to be very good in a tournament like this.
Okay, now one more question: do online players, you live in Vegas now, so there are a lot of players here. Are you guys going to have parties to play these online tournaments and all hang out and play? I
mean, I always like having people over to play and grind with me when I'm playing, just because I like discussing hands. It makes the whole thing a lot more entertaining. So I mean, parties per se, I mean, I'll throw a party, but there's not gonna be poker.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. It makes it much more fun if your friend goes deep and you're actually there instead of railing them all by yourself looking at the computer.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, thank you so much, and we'll definitely look for you in the 2009 WCOOP.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.